Hey, everyone, I'm the Mr. Star Lad and I have watched Avengers and gained God knows how many times, but recently I watched Endgame in .25 XP, and I have to say I noticed some details that are kind of not easy to pay attention to while watching the movie in regular speed, so I have made a list of things that I noticed which you may have missed, and this video is all about that, so let's begin. Number 1. The time and date of Strange's accident. A close-up of Stephen's watch reveals that the timepiece was set to Tuesday, February 2nd at just a little over 5:15. This seems to indicate that his car crash, which would have liked to stop the watch, took place on Groundhog Day. This is a nod at Bill Murray's 1993 film Groundhog Day, which features a time loop similar to the one that Dr. Strange executes in his battle against her mama at the end of the film. This is probably one of the best Easter eggs in the movie that foreshadowed the ending of the film. Number 2. Stephen's swatch collection. Stephen Strange was filled and rich at the beginning of the film, but so was Tony Stark in the MCU, but we have never gotten any scene showing a massive expensive watch collection of Tony Stark, probably because he has no fixation on collecting expensive watches, but in case of Strange there's an intended 5 seconds close-up shot at all his watches, foreshadowing once again the time is indeed going to play an integral part during the climax of the film. Number 3. Doctor Strange has already received an award for spinal fusion that he has been working on.
Look, I'm fusing transected spinal cords. I'm stimulating neurogenesis in the central nervous system. The work I'm doing is going to save thousands for years to come. I'm talking tonight at a neurological society dinner. Come with me.
Another speaking engagement?
Just before he gets ready for his speech at a neurological society dinner, we get a quick glimpse at the word that proves he has already been recognized for his work in this field. Number 4. Ancient One's hoodie. Covering a huge spoiler at the beginning of the film, the movie begins by showing Kai Kalius killing the librarian and stealing a page from the Book of Cagliostro. He and his disciples are then confronted by the Ancient One. She traps them all in the mirror dimension. But notice how she never takes off her hoodie. It's because anyone who is actively drawing power from the dark dimension gets a mystic symbol on their forehead, and while inside the mirror dimension, Ancient One was drawing power from the dark dimension, hence she must have had a similar symbol on her forehead, but we don't get to see it because of the hoodie, and that's why Caecilia scolds Ancient One a hypocrite, just as she uses her connection to the dark dimension. You may ask, why don't we see the same symbol on her forehead when she taught trains about the mirror dimension? Well, the answer is easy. As long as you don't draw power from dark dimension, you're not necessarily going to have the same. Number 5. Dormammu's voice. Many people are still unaware of the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch himself did the voiceover for Dormammu. Cumberbatch is also known for his dynamic range of voices that he's capable of doing. For example, the small clip from the Graham Norton show shows us just how versatile Benedict Cumberbatch is.
So, Miranda,
Oh my God.
is your heart beating faster? Slower than before.
Number 6. The forbidden food metaphor. When Stephen Strange messes with the Eye of Agamotto, he eats an apple while discovering the abilities of the Time Stone, and then he experimented on the same apple to see how it works. He didn't stop only experimenting with an apple, he went ahead and was almost in touch with the dark dimension. Strange was forbidden to perform that ritual just like Adam and Eve were forbidden to eat food from the tree of knowledge. It's genius that they used an apple as a metaphor to portray that Dr. Strange was doing something forbidden. Number 7. Doctor Strange remained in a time loop for an extremely long period of time. Whenever Dormammu killed him, he would again come back from a previous time period. During this, we see that Strange uses different spells to defend himself from Dormammu. Since Dormammu has too much ego and arrogance, he is not someone who would bow down and accept his defeat just after 10 or 15 tries in a space that is timeless. This fight must have gone for years in the timeless dimension, and since practice makes a man perfect, Doctor Strange had so much training he could hope to have in a lifetime. Hence he elevated to the level of social supreme so quickly. Number 8. The butterfly effect. At the start of Strange's first crazy and mind-bending trip through the multiverse, suddenly he sees a butterfly flying around in space. He touches it and gets rocketed back on a high-speed journey through time-space and probably some places in between. It was a nice literal interpretation of the butterfly effect, that one tiny decision can change everything moving forward. The theory is that a butterfly flapping its wings on the east coast of the US changes the currents of the wind, and as it builds leads to a tsunami in Japan. The first touch of a butterfly is indeed Stephen Strange's first tap towards accepting the larger world around him, leading to his eventual mastery of the mystic arts. Number 9. The Avengers Tower. When Chicalius attack New York Sanctum for the second time, Doctor Strange trapped him in the mirror dimension, where we get a glimpse at the Avengers Tower with a big blue in it. The building appeared once again in Spider-Man Far From Home, even though it's no longer associated with the Avengers. More on this in a different video. Number 10. The book that Stan Lee is reading is no other than The Doors of Perception by Aldous Huxley. It's one of the best Easter eggs in a Marvel movie because that book is fundamental in the creation of the world of Doctor Strange comic, and then so as the movie. The book tells Huxley's experience in the use of psychedelic drugs, so he can draw your own conclusions on how that influenced the franchise. Number 11. Ancient One oversimplifies magic in order to help Stephen Strange learn beyond his ego. She says spells, but if that word offends your modern sensibilities, you can call it a program.
Call the use of this language spells, but if that word offends your modern sensibilities, you can call it a program.
She explains them as programs that run the code of the universe or multiverse. As a matter of fact, she dumps it down to the level of Strange so he can understand and learn better. Just goes to show how intelligent she is and how well written is her character. Number 12. Just before the end credits began, there was a warning that told the viewers about the harmful effects of distracted driving. It was very weird to find it here without any correlation, but when you get around it, you'll understand what a genius move that was in the movie. Strange makes quirky comments about how the warning comes after the instructions, which also makes Wong laughs for the first time, by the way, and
It's funny.
here we are after Strange's car crashes in the beginning of the movie, and we're given the warning after the movie has ended. I thought this was one of the most clever Easter eggs in Doctor Strange. Number 13. Reference to Iron Man 2 on the phone call just before Strange's car crash. His colleague Billy is naming of patient Strange could take on. The first one he refers is an Air Force colonel who has crushed his lower spine. This is probably a reference to the soldier that was hurt and almost twisted completely in half in Iron Man 2. Number 14. 2 references to Pink Floyd just before Stephen Strange met with an accident. The song playing in the background was Interstellar Overdrive by Pink Floyd, and again during the argument between Strange and Christine Palmer. Strange is wearing Acid Betty shirt. The primary reason behind this subtle callbacks to Pink Floyd is because the band provided the first tribute to Marvel Sorcerer Supreme by putting an artwork from Doctor Strange comics on the cover of their album A Saucerful of Secrets, recorded in 1968. Number 15. Now this has nothing to do with watching Doctor Strange in slow motion, but more to do with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Sam Raimi's rumored to be the director of Doctor Strange sequel. Raimi is known for a Spider-Man trilogy, and many people still deem Spider-Man 2 as the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Oddly enough, Sam Raimi had made a subtle reference to Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 2 back in 2004. Click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and turn your notifications on so you never miss any videos from my channel. I'll see you lads in the next one.